Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. Today I'm just going to talk about my thoughts on the Harry Potter reboot from HBO, if I'm not mistaken. And I know, I'm very late to the topic, but hey, better late than never, as the old saying goes. So, yep, Harry Potter is officially going to get a reboot. Uh, when I first heard the rumor that they are going to do a reboot on the Harry Potter, I was honestly a little bit skeptic and a little bit against it because I'm one of those people. I don't like reboots because I don't like to being told a story that I already know. I mean, I have read the books, all of them, and I have played multiple, almost all of the Harry Potter games there is. And I also seen all of the movies. Obviously, I was born in '94. The first one came out in 2000, I think it was, and yeah, I grew up perfectly with the movies, so it's gonna be really hard for them to kind of like how should I say it, capture that magic again. Uh, so, but yeah, as I said, I was born in '94, so I grew up with the movies, in a perfect way, along especially people in my generation. We grew up just like with the actors and actresses and that sort of thing. We grew up with them, and it was really phenomenal, to be honest, to see actors and actresses growing alongside you in sort of way. And the movies as well, they are becoming more and more grown. They're treating you, the older you get, the more respect and kind of like honest in sort of way they become with you as you grow up. I mean, the first two obviously are a little bit, like childish, and you can clearly see it today. It's not like the movies that I could watch over and over, but as a child I could. Nowadays, when then the Prison of Azkaban came around, and it just treat you like an adult. Like this, there are dangerous shit out there. So yeah, eh, even if this is like a magical world and all that sort of thing. Yeah, sure. There was a basilisk in the second one that they can literally kill you with its sight, and you have like what is it called now again? An- Anchromatula. I cannot pronounce it. Big spiders, basically. So yeah, as I said, I'm a little bit. When I first heard, I was a bit big. How should you say it? Trench warfare. I was just going back and forth. I couldn't really decide. So it's going to be really hard for them to recapture the magic, in my opinion. But I can see it from the book perspective. I can tell you right now, I am a book fan. I love the Harry Potter books. They are fantastic. If you haven't read them, especially the younger generation, I so recommend it. They are fantastic, in my opinion. They are one of the best books. In my opinion, I have read the Silmarillion. How you pronounce it? Silmarillion, I can't pronounce it. The Tolkien book, lore for the Lord of the Rings world. Silmarillion? I, I don't remember the name of it exactly. And of course, the Hobbit books and all that sort of thing. And the Song of Ice and Fire. I read a lot of fantasy books. And honestly, the best fantasy books out there, in my opinion, is the Harry Potter. A lot of people say, "Oh, the Lord of the Rings," and that sort of thing. As a proper fantasy, with like Dark Ages, wizards and sword fightings and dragons. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm more a Harry Potter fan. I like that universe a little bit more, to be honest. The big question is, will this be? I don't really know if they have announced it, but will this be animation or a live action? So far, the only kinda confirmation I heard is that each movie is going to be like a season. Every season is going to have somewhere around maybe 7 or 10 episodes. So in a way, they're gonna have a lot of time to take their time with take things from the books, especially. It's going to be more aligned with the books rather than the movies, which fine. But there's a lot of things possibly that we are going to see that are reminiscing from the movies. So, from the book perspective, I do believe that this is going to be a big favor to a lot of Harry Potter books fans out there. And yeah, as a book fan myself from the movie. the Harry Potter franchise, I'm gonna say that yes, I'm all for it. But it is a story that we all know. We all know what's going to happen. We all know that Dumbledore dies. We all know that Voldemort is going to die, and we all know Harry Potter is going to be triumphant, that sort of thing. So, spoilers. I mean, it's been like what, 10 years since the last Harry Potter movie came out? Probably more. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, it must have been like a decade ago or something like that. If I would choose to make a Harry Potter or Wizard TV series, I would rather want to make something new characters, especially maybe we can follow Harry Potter's child. I don't remember, Sirius, Albus, Severus or something like that. And of course, you know that what was it? The play Cursed Child, right? I remember when they first came around, and people had, it was a lot of controversial with it. I have seen it, and I gotta say it's. um, I want to say it's the. I'm a little bit back from, because there is some things that I liked about the Cursed Child, but there's a lot of things that I just no, no. Has JK approved this? Like, seriously? So, uh, as I said, I would rather want a continuation sort of way. I want to see Hogwarts or new characters in proper modern day time, because Harry Potter, the books and the movies are taking place during the entire 1990s. So I would rather honestly have a modern day Wizard series. Maybe we will get it. Maybe, who knows? Maybe depending on how successful this series is going to be. Maybe we're going to have some sort of sequel, that sort of thing. And as I said, live action or animation. To me, I would think if they're going to go with live action, we're going to have probably maybe 7 years, maybe 8, or throughout the seasons, and it's going to be quite hard for the studio, whoever going to do this, HBO. It's going to take a lot of huge amount of production. It's going to take a huge amount of time, and we're also going to see the actors and actresses growing up, which is all really cool. Like we had it with the Harry Potter movies, absolutely phenomenal in sort of way. I would rather go with animation, to be honest. What kind of style? I would not choose something like not a style like a Danny Phantom. No, no, please. Um, kind of like that Netflix Castlevania. It's obviously, to me, yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, there's a lot of animation style out there, but I feel like maybe we're going to have animation because it's so much more easier for the studios and that sort of thing to handle voice actors and that sort of thing. But it might kind of like deter, what do you call it, not attract a certain amount of people who doesn't really like animation and that sort of thing. So so far we don't really know exactly, but I think it's going to be live action. I have nothing against it, but I'm an animation nerd. I love animation. So yeah, it's, to me it's, no matter which side that's going to win, animation or live action. To me, it doesn't really affect me that much. But hey, let's let's do it in anyways. Maybe we will have an animation TV series on the side, along with the live action. Who knows? Who knows? But as I said, I would rather have a completely different story, completely new characters, set in a modern world, like 2020 or 2023 or something like that. It would be much more interesting, in my opinion. I don't want to go back. I don't want to see a lot of Harry Potter fans, that sort of thing. So far that I've heard, a lot of people for some reason want to see the first war against Voldemort in the 70s, I think it was. Honestly, I know you want to see the Order of the Phoenix, whatever it was called, the first one, fighting Voldemort in the 70s, that sort of thing. I to me, no, I don't want to go back. I want to go forward. I want to see something new. Like with the Star Wars movies, they went the correct way, but the way they did it was complete disastrous and absolutely horrible and horrific way. And the best example how to not execute a franchise going forward. Absolutely not. Something needs to show it. A lot of it is happening throughout the many franchises where they're trying to go forward. It's always going to be shit. But I want something. I don't want to go back to like the 18 or 1700 or even the 1970s. No, I want to go forward. I want to see something continuation of it all. I want to see how the world looks like after the second Wizarding War, I think it was called, with Voldemort's defeats. Because I feel like we already had kind of like a window to look into the Wizard World back in the days, like the Hogwarts Legacy, which honestly is so far it is the game of the year for me. I'm still playing it sometime here and there because it's such a good game. So I have a lot of optimistic and skepticism surrounding this reboot. As I said, I'm not a big fan of reboots, so but I can understand from the book perspective because there's a lot of things in the movies that I just left out, where they just left out a lot of materials and source materials, if you want to call it more like that, from the books. Absolutely, and there's a lot of characters that, even though yeah, the movie wise they are more unique, but from the book's perspective they are complete horrible. Like Ron Weasley, there's a lot of things that Ron Weasley does more than Hermione in the books and that sort of thing. And then we have Hogwarts itself. Will it be, how should I say it, a copy from the movies? Because I think they said they don't want to borrow the complete architectural style from the movies. They want to make their own version. Honestly, here's the thing: Hogwarts is so iconic. I mean, anyone, even those who maybe have seen a Harry Potter movie once, they know when they see Hogwarts, just the castle of it, just a silhouette even, they know that that's Hogwarts. So if they're going to make a complete different version of Hogwarts, I believe it would I think they should take the example that Hogwarts Legacy did it, where they took a lot of things from the movies, but they redesigned it. So a lot of areas are indeed reminiscing and remembered from the movies, and you can clearly see it in some places here and there, but they are different. They're completely different here and there. So I think if they want to remake Hogwarts, make it more like Hogwarts Legacy did. Take everything that we know Hogwarts about, the architectural style and the location of different towers and that sort of thing, but remake it. Don't move it like everywhere, but remake the ground, remake the design of like for example the Great Hall. So it's going to be interesting. I would say it like that. It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to, how they're going to build up Hogwarts, for example. Character-wise, I mean, there's compared with the movies and the books, there's a lot of things that are completely different. So from as I said, the book perspective, it's going to be a absolutely gold mine for them for this series. But as I said, I'm a bit skeptical here and there. I have to, because I have seen so many reboots that's just been absolutely pushed into the garbage can, and I'm afraid that this reboot might have that effect as well. I hope not, because I do think that we need to showcase or retell the Harry Potter story to the younger generation. I mean, Harry Potter is going to be part of maybe like 3 more generations, but I have to be honest. I'm very struggling here. It's a trench warfare here. I don't like reboots. I hate reboots in many situational fact, but I can understand the book perspective and that sort of thing. But this the story. Like I know what's going to happen. We all know what's going to happen. And some people say it's too early. As I said, it was like maybe probably over a decade when the movies came out and the last book came out. We all know what's going to happen. So it's kind of like that when they make the Force Awaken or Star Wars: A New Hope 2.0, where we know what's going to happen. We know what characters. We know all these things. So it's going to be so hard for this reboot to, how should I say it, fish in new people, fishing new fans. I think it's majority of people who's going to watch this reboot is probably the book fans and some of the Harry Potter movie fans, and people are maybe curious, but I don't think it's going to be a massive hit. I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think it's going to attract a lot of new people like who already seen and know the Harry Potter, the story and that sort of thing, the characters. So it's going to be really how should you say it, exciting to see the reviews out there and what people think, both from the book's perspective and the movie's perspective. All of this is going to be really interesting. As for myself, like, will they manage to recapture that magic the movies had in the early 2000s, and of course the books. And it was a little bit worrying with Hogwarts Legacy, for example, that people might have been like the Harry Potter franchise is over and done with. People are not interested in it. It has kind of like declined. We have seen the effects of the Fantastic Beast, because honestly, the first one also was okay, but it was okay. Like it wasn't a great movie in my opinion. I can like watch it once and never again. And the second one was okay as well. That one I would say Johnny Depp absolutely sells it as Grindelwald in my opinion, and Jude Law as Dumbledore. But the stories are just pure garbage. And then this third one came out, and it was just so bad. I really hated it. Matter of fact, I was like, man, I wanna leave this theater, but I have to see this movie. It's the more I watched it, the more I was like, I wanna go. It's retconning. It's so bad acting here and so bad editing, and especially the story is so dumb. So you can also see it like the decline of the Fantastic Beast showcase that, well, money wise, if you want to call it, or the budget or income and that sort of thing, you can see that it was declining, and people might have been more like, oh, Harry Potter, the franchise, the world is declining in popularity, especially because people who grew up with it are becoming more and more, how would you say it, in their 30s or maybe in their 40s right now. So, and it maybe not, and it's not attracting a lot of the younger generation anymore, like Star Wars or Jurassic Park or the World, if you want to call it, even though those movies were absolutely shit as well. But Hogwarts Legacy kind of like showcased that no, the Potter franchise or the Wizarding World is not in a decline. It's actually in a upward hill in popularity, not because of the Fantastic Beast, but because of this game mostly, and the reboot, the rumors about it. But yeah, Hogwarts Legacy managed to attract a huge amount of attraction from the younger generation, that sort of thing, and we could definitely see it from the sales number from this game. I mean, I think it was somewhere around 800 maybe $900 million in sold revenue, I think it was. And I also have to welcoming a lot of older generation or previous generations, or people who are owning like PS4 and other older generation of Xbox, because Hogwarts Legacy has been released now for the older generation right now. So welcoming to Hogwarts Legacy. If you're having a great time, welcome them. I think you're going to have a massive, real good time with it. And as I said, the revenue, like almost $1 billion. So just for a video game, I mean, the Hogwarts Legacy still, that numbers are very low for a lot of, compared to a lot of others video games out there, but still $1 billion sold almost, or income from revenue, if I should say it. I mean, and now the rumors are that they are going to work for a Hogwarts Legacy Part 2, or maybe it's just 2 or something. I am really excited to see what they are going to do with it. And also we have the big news that we are going to get a Quidditch game. However, I didn't notice we have been receiving some sort of image, like a teaser image from how the style, if you want to call it, for Hogwarts Quidditch is going to look like. And as a gamer who also played the Quidditch World Cup way back in the time, and that's actually one of the very few sports games I actually love from my childhood. And I'm gonna say I have a massive worried about the game, because it looks like the art style, if you want to call it, looks very reminiscent to another game that was received very criticizing way, and that was Hogwarts Mystery, and it's a mobile game. I'm honestly, I haven't touched that game since it came out, and my students is probably dead in that in the Devil's Snares. Oopsie, but not my fault. I couldn't pay to go to continue the story. But anyway, yeah, if you know about Hogwarts Mystery whole shenanigans, then you know that why you should be worried, because the art style is very reminiscent to that mobile game. And if the case is that the new Quidditch game is going to be a mobile game, then I'm going to scream. I'm going to be very vocal about it, because I hate mobile games. I don't understand why people. I think I only play one mobile game throughout the past maybe 4 years, 3 maybe, and that is Azure Lane, which is kind of like an anime video games about animomorphic ships from World War II and that sort of thing. So I don't want a mobile game. I know, like Portkey, whoever makes it. If it's a mobile game, my God, I'm going to scream. But I really hope it's going to be a proper video game. And I swear to God, as well as it's going to be, if it's going to be a mobile game, if it's containing microtransactions or pay to win system, I'm going to scream. Like, I know Portkey, whoever, especially Universal, Universal, but Warner Bros. I know FIFA and NBA and that sort of thing, video games, are having a massive income from the, like $1 billion a year, that sort of thing. I know it's tempting as hell, but no, we don't want another FIFA copycat sort of franchise. Please, no. We want our Quidditch World Cup, but with more content, more updated, with modern day graphics and that sort of thing. Please don't let it turn into some sort of FIFA or NBA, whatever it was called. I can't name all these stupid sports games anymore, because they are just the same video games coming out. I haven't played a FIFA or that sort of thing probably in 15 years, because they are just the same video games, and people are buying them or just being scammed for thousands of dollars monthly, in my opinion, that I can see from the what do you call it, the statics from we can gather. It is a shame. It's a scam from EA and that sort of thing. I don't buy this game, please. You're just hurting the industry if you do it. So I really don't want a Quidditch FIFA version. Please, Warner Bros. Or Portkey, whoever, please don't let that be the case. Like Warner Bros. And Portkey and all of these people, you have to realize something. The Potter World community and fans we're not sports games fans. We don't give a flying frick about sport except for maybe Quidditch. It's kind of like the only sport where we, in a way, are interesting. Sure, there are maybe football players and that sort of thing. Absolutely, who likes Harry Potter, but we're not sport gamer. We look at Hogwarts Legacy, open world action RP. It was absolutely a success, almost $1 billion sold incoming revenue. Please don't follow the steps of EA, please. So anyway, I know it's a lot of news income. I mean, Quidditch, a new Quidditch game, Hogwarts Legacy 2 probably are in very early development right now. And then of course we have the reboot coming up, and we don't really know much about it. So it's going to be for Potter fans, I think it's going to be this past maybe 5 years is going to be really interesting and full pack with a lot of Potter things like video games, TV series, books, maybe not from JK, but maybe magazine. Who knows? We just don't know what they are planning. We only know very few things. So it looks bright for Potter fans. It looks like a bright few years to come. I really hope they are not going to do like what Disney has done with Star Wars. I pray to any god who are out there. I don't believe in gods, but still, please don't let the Potter franchise turn into a Disney Star Wars universe, please. And remember what made the Potter franchise so popular. Look at Hogwarts Legacy. They tried with that boycott because of that transphobia scandal, whatever. In my opinion, it's not transphobic what J.K. Rowling said. Just remember, especially the Twitter mobs, don't listen to them. They are a vast minority. Remember that, Warner Bros. And Porky or whoever. Remember, they are vastly minority who are just having a massive amount of, how should I say it, screaming vocal and being loud and that sort of thing. Don't let these people ruin your franchise like Disney, Star Wars, or franchise like Jurassic World and sort of thing. Please don't let it be the case. I think that the Harry Potter franchise is a very worthy franchise to be retold and sort of thing. Maybe in my opinion, it's maybe a little bit too early to retell it. But anyway, it's going to be interesting. I'm just telling you, don't listen to the mob people because they just look at Hogwarts Legacy. Just look at it. Look at the success it had, even though the LGBTQ community was like, don't buy it, you're going to be transphobic, boycott it. Look what happened. Look. It was an absolute success. So don't listen to any of these people who just being vocal and everything and just comes up with absolutely ridiculous explanations and not buy into the Potter franchise. Just don't give a damn about them. Just look at Hogwarts Legacy. Just look at them. So in a nutshell, I am very excited for the reboot. Absolutely, as I said, we don't know anything so far except it's going to be a reboot. We just don't know anything as so far. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be really interesting to see what's going to develop during this past a year or two. And we not just reboot, but video games and that sort of thing, with featuring Harry or a Potter theme. So that is my opinion. Exciting, yes, absolutely, but I have still some skepticism. We have to wait. That is just the one thing I have to say. We just have to wait. I know the waiting. I hate it. It's kind of like with Hogwarts Legacy. You know, when they first gave us the gameplay and that sort of thing. Oh my god, that year was absolutely slow as hell. But anyway, if you have like your own opinion about this reboot, thoughts about it, your opinion, Do you think it's going to be recapturing the magic of the movies or the books? Do you think it's a good way to retell the story, but from the book's perspective? Are you looking forward to, for example, the Quidditch game? What do you think it's going to be like? If you want to tell, just tell me down in the comment if you want to, and that sort of thing. So anyway, I hope to see you later.